Air passenger rights advocates are accusing Air Canada of violating federal regulations. This by denying passengers up to $1,000 in compensation for flights canceled due to crew shortages. Under Canada's passenger rights charter, airlines must pay in cases of cancellations or significant delays stemming from reasons within their control. This if the notification comes 14 days or less before departure. Now, airlines don't have to pay if the flight was canceled for safety purposes. In a December 29th memo, Air Canada instructed staff to classify flight cancellations caused by staffing shortages as a safety problem. Well, Mr. Gabor Lukacs, the president of the Air Passenger Rights Advocacy Group, says Air Canada is actually violating the Passenger Rights Charter to avoid compensating customers. Mr. Lukacs joins us now. Sir, welcome to Forum Daily.
Good afternoon. Good evening.
So as we mentioned, your organization is saying Air Canada is violating federal regulations in terms of passenger rights. So can you go over the alleged legal violations by the company?
Under the air passenger protection regulations, when a flight is delayed or canceled for reasons within the airline's control, the airline has to pay compensation, a lump sum compensation to passengers. What Air Canada is doing is they are alleging that when they don't have enough crew, when they have shortage of crew issues, then somehow that is a safety issue and not something within their control. That is already a settled issue at law, and it is known that it is not the case. Safety issues under the regulations include situations like a leaky oil pipe, or if there's a problem with the landing gears, or problems with the flight computer, but not issues of staffing. Staffing is the airline's responsibility. It is a labor management issue.
And what sort of response has the Canadian Transportation Agency given you regarding this?
The Canadian Transportation Agency, this is the federal regulator, already confirmed in a formal legally binding ruling affecting WestJet that crew shortage is not a safety issue and it is within the carrier's control.
And what about Canada's air passenger protection regulations? Does it cover the situation at hand right now?
And the Canadian air passenger protection regulations does cover the current situation, and Air Canada is simply disobeying the law. The law says that they have to pay passengers. Air Canada says we are not paying passengers. It's a clear contradiction, clear conflict between what Air Canada is required to do under the law and what it is actually doing.
All right, sir. So what is the Air Passenger Rights Group's recommendation in terms of resolving this situation?
We recommend to individual passengers affected by this situation to take the airlines who do this type of unlawful conduct to small claims court. At the policy level, we would like to see the government enforce the law as written. The government already has a lot of tools at its disposal, including imposing administrative monetary penalties, which is like a big amount of tickets, like you have a speeding ticket. It's a much bigger amount, but the same idea, up to $25,000 per passenger per incident. Those type of penalties have never been issued because the government is the source of the problem. The government is not enforcing passengers' rights. It is really a sham, this whole set of regulations, because it's not being enforced. That must change.
All right, Mr. Lukacs, we've got about a minute and a half here, but I want to switch gears and talk about other ways that passengers could be affected. So what other kinds of delays and cancellations constitute as being completely under an airline's control, according to your organization?
For example, if there is a business decision to cancel a flight because there are not sufficient passengers, or if an airline decides to just shift the flight for a different time for various organizational operational reasons, those are all within the carrier's control. I would also add that under the European Union's gold standard, maintenance issues are also something that the airline has to compensate passengers for. So in Europe, passengers don't have to choose between compensation and safety. They have both.
All right, Mr. Lukacs, a quick 45 seconds left here, but what legal rights should all Canadian travelers know about when booking a flight?
Passengers should document what they are experiencing with airlines and should not hesitate to take any violation of their rights to small claims court in their province.
All right, Mr. Lukacs, thank you again for another informative interview on Forum Daily.
Thank you very much for having me.